JC13, Richard Benner here. We work for the king. If you don't know, you'll see. They talk about know them by their fruits. But they don't seem to know what they're talking about. See, there's this thing where Jesus followed up John the Baptist's ministry. And John the Baptist was saying, those with two coats, give to them who have no coat. So, say you actually go out to live by faith in God, leaving all that you leave behind, or just leaving your house for a weekend to see if you can do it without turning back, having a backpack, a camera, and a knife, or whatnot, maybe a couple bucks in your wallet to see if you can handle what it takes to do the faith of God, who had actually commanded fasting. You fast from TV, fast from cars, stuff like this. You find yourself out there among the marketplaces, trying to find your way to share from a home in a town. Aside from that, you'll be in desolate places as well sometimes. You might find that you do deserve a good living wage, and it might be unpaid. So, if you are content with food and clothing by the commandment, then you're also commanded to share food. And that's where the whole you will know them by their fruits thing comes from, because you'll find a lot of guys on the side of the road too that aren't preaching Jesus, and they would say, how can you teach these people to live like Jews if you're living like a Gentile? So you would therefore be able to share what fruit that can cast out the demon of addiction. And plenty of other things. There are thousands of cars that pass you by. There is a kingdom at play. Not all of them are working for God as intended, but some of them are for them. They pay their tithe. They give to the poor. There are different measures and values of faith. If you just got a seed and that's what you're living on, preaching the Christ kingdom, then you probably already know you can make the sky move. You can make the flowers in the field bend at your will. You can walk by and see stair sets come in the woods in desolate places out of the roots of the ground. If you want to know God, go into nature type of thing. But I've done another video on you will know them by their fruits. This is a record, like in Matthew 25 says to have another light, in case Jesus wants to come meet you, or you want to go meet him. Pulled 19 hours the other day. I know I said I was done with work, but I still find myself trained and conditioned to do things as taught by Jesus. And when we see him flying in the clouds, we're not supposed to turn back back to where we came from. So I started singing a song of rejoicement and anger, similar to the lyrics of Bless the Fall Promised Ones. And part of the lyrics was kind of screamo, it is well right blood. The whole sky turned blood red shortly after that. It's like every prophecy will be, and then I'm like, you know that it costs like more than $5 million to get a healing miracle done, right? Without tools to do medicine. We're blessed to have this as it is. Anyway, so keeping the strictness in the commandments is one way to be great in the kingdom of heaven. To believe all the things that you can about it in that sort of strictness. But I ended up having to sleep on the side of the road on the grass at a Chick-fil-A for a while. There was some interesting blessing type of stuff going on, but I hadn't actually stayed out with no home for a while. I use my paycheck from my enemies to get rent now. We use law to take dominion over them. And I took a 10%. But, hey man, I had almost forgotten what living by faith was like when no one wants to do a thing for anyone else in the end times where they love money and themselves. Nonetheless, I like pineapple for breakfast.